So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Now a give running right. And he works his way for a gain of 4.
You know, that's a good run right there. Keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Second and 6 coming up here. His first throw is an interception. Derwin James picks it. And forget the interception. He makes this a pick-6 touchdown. So on our opening drive, Brock, we've got a big defensive highlight already as the pick-6 starts off our scoring.
This is a defense who isn't hiding how they're approaching this game. They want to be disruptive. They're unafraid to be aggressive. Can be a risky mentality to have. Boy, can it set a tone early.
Now it's Cameron Dicker on for the extra point. The kick is good, and expect that to stand now. This flag appears to be the player who jumped early looking to block that kick. Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him. So with the lead at the moment, they'll just go ahead and take the try from the 10. That kick a whole lot easier after that penalty, right? And he sent it through. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick-6. Return starts at the 3. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. At their own 40. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Nix from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get it up to the 44. He picks up 15 on the play. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Nix off the play action. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. First time this game they've looked to him. And it sets up 2nd down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
They send him left out of the slot. Nix again on 2nd and 10. Short pass brought in. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. He picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. That's caught for the first. And they get this down to the 28. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They'll throw again. Nix. He's going deep this time. And he'll score. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos reach pay dirt for the first time this game. So the offense showing a slightly different dimension there, Brock, getting the running back involved with his hands for the touchdown.
Yeah, such an advantage. I think when you think about it, Kate, it really is about the 80s where we start to see these running backs not just tote the ball as runners, but be real weapons when they get the ball in the passing game. That's well done.
That one splits the uprights. And the Broncos tie this game 7-7. All set now for the kickoff. Ryland with the honors. Starting from the 5. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Nick Chubb. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one.
His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And now they're staring at 4th and long.
You know, so often we talk about speed offensively, right? We love receivers that can run. Well, that was a perfect example of how speed kills you defensively. A hurried throw, almost an interception. And that wasn't until after they almost brought him down behind the line for a sack. Speed's the difference.
Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And the Broncos get set to take over. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's officially in enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Broncos will have a first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
First game on the ground to Jahmyr Gibbs. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
From the 48. That's caught. Here comes Jahmyr Gibbs. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him, turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
Nix with it on first. Finds a seam down the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
Going jumbo set on this 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And he's to the 5 before going out of bounds. Give him 4 on that play. So now they've got 2nd and goal.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
Back to him on 2nd and goal. Launches, and he's got it. Touchdown! The Broncos break the tie here in the 1st. Made the right read on the RPO inside the red zone, Brock, and things worked out.
And you know what is so key about these RPOs? It's that mesh point. It's the details right there, not immediately giving any indication of what they were going to do, and it created, Kate, the slightest of hesitations for the defense, and that slightest opportunity is all he needed to hit the end zone.
Ryland able to connect on the point after. And the Broncos take the lead here, 14-7 in the 1st. All set now for the kickoff. Ryland with the honors. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They begin the drive with Chubb. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And the Chargers will have a 1st.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
Won't make the play on that one. It hits the deck, incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Burrow out of the shotgun. That one's cut along the left sideline. And he'll go out of bounds close to that 35-yard line. It's the end of the 1st in this AFC West showdown. It's a 14-7 game. We're back to SoFi right after this. We're back and all set for the second quarter. Charger football. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
After the sack, another pass on 2nd down. Throw left side, complete. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He could take it to the house.
The handoff on 3rd and short. And he's brought down for a loss. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Back to the well again. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
I'll be honest with you. Seeing that in real time, I didn't know if they got enough. But credit that first to a tremendous effort, and secondly to know exactly what he needed to go get that extra yard.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go.
They'll motion him out of the backfield. Burrow throwing again on 2nd and 10. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down.
Here we go.
Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Hits his tight end on the corner route. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. They'll come up 1st and 10.
Here we go.
A give to Chubb, running left. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for...
And he takes this in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers can tie it up in the 2nd after cutting into the lead. Ladd McConkey with a touchdown. Dicker tacks on the extra point. And the Chargers tie things up at 14. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Has this at the 6. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Play action with Nix. Warren's got it. Complete.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd down now, 7 to go. It's Nix out of the pistol. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
Pretty even match in this first half. And you just kind of wait. Well, you just kind of try to get a feel for which defense is going to come to life. And when you get that sack, that can go a long way to infusing some energy on that side of the ball.
Here he is on third and long. Complete beyond the marker. How about that play, Brock? On 3rd and 14, they find a way to convert.
Okay, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectedness.
Putting a receiver in motion. Quick touch pass to the receiver. Rolling into enemy territory. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
To play running back in this league, well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice. Once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Running it now out of the gun. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. They give it to him again. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Sent to the ground by Khalil Mack. Third and 6 for them to figure out now. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Smith and Jigba there to grab it. All the way, touchdown Denver! The Broncos get some late points and the lead. Jackson Smith and Jigba with a touchdown. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Ryland tacks on the extra point. And the Broncos break that tie and now lead by 7. All set now for the kickoff. Ryland with the honors. And that's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else. So that football coming out to the 30-yard line. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Burrow from the gun. Finds him on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. One play in, and already they're close to midfield.
Here we go.
Burrow throwing out of the pistol. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he is in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers earn the chance to tie it before halftime. Dicker on now for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chargers tie this game at 21. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll run here from the gun. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1. From the 36. Defense is too much here. The Chargers drag him down. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before.
Sure ended up being worst case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. Just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
Didn't get that one off in time. This is going to be a delay of game. Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty. Backed up now after the penalty. It's 3rd down. Slot man motioned over. Third and long for him here. He's in trouble, and they bring him down again. The defense calls a timeout, so that's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Here comes the Broncos punting unit. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. Only needed once last week in the win, and he matches that total here. He has it at the 33. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Officially a 69-yard punt. What a kick. And the Chargers take possession. Markers reset, ball at the 37. First down, Burrow to throw. Throwing into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take over after the interception. Well, I know I don't need to tell you, partner, but if you're going to try to get aggressive, really push a throw downfield like that, you have to be smart about how you do it.
Yeah, that is spot on, Kate. If you've got to find that spot when you know the coverage won't be able to hold up, especially as you go 20, 30, 40 yards down the field. Hey, listen, these defenders in the league today, you throw a ball deep down the field like that, it turns into a 50-50 ball. More times than not, they can make a play and take it away, just as they did.
Throwing on first down, Nix. He's on the move, trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
To get home and hit and impact the quarterback at this level, well, typically you got to do what this defense is doing, and that's keeping an offense off balance. Change up your looks, rotate your personnel, throw in some wrinkles, and once again, go hit that quarterback.
They've got a man in motion. Another try following the sack. He lets one fly deep downfield. And that's going to fall incomplete. We're down to 9 seconds left. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour. And there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Just before halftime, we get a timeout. Take it. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. They send a man in motion. He's back to throw. He's trying to go deep again. He's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos take the lead just before halftime. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Ryland able to connect on the point after. And the Broncos break that tie and now lead by 7. Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. Kickoff taken at the 3. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Huard with you as we're about set to begin the 3rd quarter. The first half controlled by the offenses, Brock. Let's see if the defenses can take over in the second half. We're underway. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. And Cuts to his back, Nick Chubb. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Offense up to the line fast. Here's Chubb on second down. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. That one ends up a gain of 6. And it brings up an LA first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Play action now. Burrow. Connects on the crosser. He's still going at the 30. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A pickup there of 33 yards. And the Chargers will have a first. Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. On first down, here's Burrow. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
A loss of 11. It's second and 21 at the Broncos' 33-yard line.
They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. That was Devontae Smith, the intended receiver. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
3rd and long, here's Burrow. Cut at the 10-yard line. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he drives it forward for a modest gain. 6 yards from there. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
On 3rd and goal, here's Burrow. And oh, he got it! Interception! Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. And the Broncos are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season. There are costly interceptions, Brock, and then there are interceptions inside the red zone in the 2nd half of a 1-score game.
And if there is ever a time where ball security is paramount, it is right now. They made a great play. Don't get me wrong. They deserve a ton of credit right there. But as a quarterback, you cannot risk a turnover. It's touchdown, it's check down, it's throw the ball away. You're literally throwing points away with that pick.
That one doesn't find its man. Incomplete. Not on the same page with his tight end. And it's going to be 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Nix. He's going deep. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
That was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Nix from the gun. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Punter takes the field on fourth down, and he sends this one flying. Starts his return from the 23. And a big hit on the return to stop him cold. Absolutely crushed that kick, a full 70-yard punt. And they're going to take over possession. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Low back in the backfield, and they give it to him. He'll cobble together a yard there. Talanoa Hufanga there to make the play. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Throw left side, complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down. So we hit the end of the 3rd quarter. The Chargers have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. First and 10 from the 41.
Here we go.
Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it brings up an LA 1st down. They give inside to Chung. And finally, they're able to bring him to the ground. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
It's a gain. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Lone back gets the handoff. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on 3rd and short.
And he could not get there. They stop him right at the line. Just short on 3rd down, no gain on the run. And now what will they do on 4th?
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Less than a yard needed here on 4th.
Here we go, here we go.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss. And they do not get a desperately needed 1st down. He doesn't make it, and they still trail after the turnover on downs.
Kate, that is all about the eyes of the defense, keyed in on the quarterback. Whether it was going to be a run or a throw, that defense was so locked in, they hold him short of the sticks.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. This is complete to Neighbors. And he's tackled for a short gain.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Second down now, 7 to go. Nix off the play action. Throwing deep for the end zone. And he will score. It's a Denver touchdown. The Broncos go up by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this two-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Ryland tacks on the extra point. And the Broncos double their lead to 14.
Chargers 21. Chad Ryland to kick off.
All set now for the kickoff. Ryland with the honors. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Burrow out of the shotgun. Chubb brings it in. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. Offense in the hurry up here. 2nd and 6 now. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete. Looking for the back that time. And now they're going to face 3rd down. Throwing is Burrow. He'll get this complete to Chubb. And he's brought down for a loss.
Not terribly complicated on this one. Just not the 3rd down screen you wanted to run. Little chance they were getting the first, and apparently little chance they were going to even gain a positive yard at all.
Desperation time here on 4th. He puts some juice on it deep. That's complete inside the 35. What a time to rip off that type of gain, huh? It gets him the first on 4th down. It's the 2-minute warning here in L.A. Chargers losing by 14. Down a couple of scores, but still some time left and 3 timeouts as well. It's 1st and 10. To throw again, it's Burrow. He sends this one to the end zone. And he can't hang on to it in the end zone. Not an interception, only an incompletion. So they get it back. 2nd down coming up.
Defensive coaches in the NFL say it all the time. Limit the big play. Keep these guys in front of you. Well, this defense is going to have to stay vigilant because this receiver, he could take the lid off a defense at any time.
Burrow throwing again on 2nd and 10. Taking a big shot for the end zone. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Looking to throw it. And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon.
This is a time that the communication upstairs from the booth, Kate, down to the field, it starts to get just a little bit hot. These eyes in the sky, they've got to help this quarterback try to see the field because right now, with the 3rd interception, man, he is killing his team.
They'll run here on 1st down. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Wow, they're going to pass it here. Escapes the pocket. Sideline throw reeled in by Neighbors. And he's able to get across the 25 before stepping out. They strike for 23 yards. And that'll be good for a Denver first. Handoff now out the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Absolutely no fear in his game. Even one of the smaller defenders out there, he isn't afraid to go charging into all those linemen and dish out some physical play himself to make that stop.
Oh, look at this. He's setting up to throw. He finds Neighbors right side. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. New set of downs for him at the 38. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he stopped after running it up across the 45 to the 46. So it's a win for the Broncos. And they can be proud of their exploits on the road and overall so far this season as they improve to 2-0. And with Brock Huard and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. The Broncos are winners as we say goodbye from Los Angeles.